Is indeed Mr. and Mrs. So, Jordan, my next one, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, is also Mr. and Mrs. Smith. It's that television show we were just talking about.
Oh yeah.
No, it's not. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
It's actually a movie called Spy.
Tell me where the bomb is. 10 seconds or you're dead.
Interesting. I'm the only one who knows where that nuke is.
Well, then, in that case, I'd say you'd better start.
Oh my God! What? Why did you do that?
I didn't do it on purpose. There's like a ton of pollen in here.
When I quit teaching and joined the CIA, I thought I was going to be this amazing spy, and I'm still just the same boring person I was.
You play it too safe.
Starring Melissa McCarthy and Jason Statham, and I think that chick from the IT Crowd. I think she was on the IT Crowd, and 50 Cent is there, and it's directed by Paul Feige, and honestly, it's pretty good. This movie was a pleasant surprise. I remember the first time we watched it, not entering into it just to kind of watch a movie and not expecting much because it's a Melissa McCarthy movie, and most of her movies suck. Like I remember this was coming off the back of like Tammy and Identity Theft, and I will never forget Identity Theft because we watched that in like a full theater and people liked it, and we were perplexed by that. We were like, how? This movie is really bad. I don't get it. And then so this one, Spy, is very pleasantly surprised. It's quite a good movie. It's really funny. It's surprisingly funny. It's Jordan, do you remember Spy?
Not really. Kind of a little bit, I think, maybe. But to be fair, with Melissa McCarthy films, I find that they kind of get mixed up in my head and merged into one.
Yeah, no, fair enough. This is the one where she's oh my God, I can never remember his name. Oh my God, what is it? Oh, it's gonna bug me. I'm gonna Google it because he's really funny. Oh my God, why can I never remember his name?
I don't know. Why can't you remember his name?
Jude Law. Jude Law. He's there. It's basically, Melissa McCarthy is a CIA analyst desk jockey who is basically the person. You know the person in the chair.
Yeah, she's the Johnny English of this movie.
Yeah, she's the person in the chair. For
the person in the chair who gets thrown into the spotlight even though they're not qualified and should not be there.
Well, that's what's kind of fun about this is she is very qualified. That's the gag. Is the joke is she's hyper qualified and she shouldn't be sitting at a desk. She nailed all of her quizzes. She's highly physically confident. Yeah. She's just really
I think I remember
good at
that
this.
one.
Yeah. And she's just really nervous. And it's like Melissa McCarthy comes in like two flavors. She's yelly, screamy Melissa McCarthy, where she's just mad at everyone. Or she's the straight man, Melissa McCarthy. And like this is both. Where she starts off where she's really timid, and then she eventually goes undercover and becomes angry Melissa McCarthy. And this features one of my all-time favorite Melissa McCarthy insults, which is I'm gonna ram my fist down your throat and shove my other fist up your ass and play you like a fucking accordion.
You know what? You want me to have Cagney and fucking Lacey explain it to you? Cagney's coming down your fucking throat. Lacey, she's gonna come up your ass. I'm gonna meet him in the fucking middle and play your heart like a fucking accordion. I'm gonna pump that shit until it pops. You Swedish bitch.
You wouldn't dare.
You gonna cry?
I think she says it in more than one. I swear she says it in more than one movie. But it makes me laugh every fucking time because it's just so funny. Just to play like a fucking accordion. It's so funny. And it's surprisingly well directed. The action sequences are in my opinion, quite well done. There's a really fun kind of Jackie Chan kind of esque fight sequence where she's fighting a guy with a frying pan in a kitchen. And if she's not doing the action sequences, they got a stunt double who looks enough like her that it's really believable looking. That it looks good. Like, wow, she looks believable in these action sequences, and they look good. Her friend who 50 Cent is just obsessed with is just really funny. Jason Statham is hilarious. He's so funny. Like I watched the outtake reel of this where it's just where it's just Paul Feig just giving him lines off camera.
Yeah, like somebody looks like Mrs. Claus. Seriously, what is that outfit?
Mrs. Closet.
Mrs. Claus, like Santa Claus's wife.
We have to stop the sale of a nuclear bomb. And they send in someone who looks like Santa Claus's fucking wife. What is that outfit?
You know, if you...
This is super fun. Sorry, keep going.
And him being like,
Yeah.
I ate a bunch of, I can't do a Jason Statham impression. He was like, I ate a bunch of microchips, and then I shit out a computer. And it's just like I was once in a stream with a bunch of Brazilian women, and I was fighting. And it was like stuff like that, where he's just saying ridiculous things. I would do this and then this, and like he keeps breaking. It's just like, it just seems like a normal dude that they're making him say. Like, you know that, I call it the Jason Statham voice.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not his real voice. Like,
Where he talks kind of like this, where he's got the deep, gravelly kind of voice.
like the voice he had in Crank. Like, that's not his real voice. He doesn't talk like that. He, in fact, talks like a regular guy. And that kind of it kind of blew my mind a little bit. Like, oh yeah, he seems like he's a normal dude. But no, I was impressed by this. I was impressed by how much I like this. I was like, this was the other one where I was like, maybe I don't hate spy movies. Like, this was like the third one. Like, this is like Wednesday, and I was like, I really like this movie. This is really funny. I'm having a good time. Like, this is well made. The action is good. There's a really fun twist, where Jude Law, he's basically James Bond, and you think he gets killed at the beginning, and like you have no reason to think. Spoiler alert for this movie, but it turns out he's alive, and you have no reason to believe that he's alive. Like, the movie doesn't hint at it, and then it shows up. And when he first shows up, you think that, because the whole bit is they think, or they suspect there's like a mole in the agency. And he comes back into the movie, it turns out he's alive. And it's a pretty good twist, and you think he's the bad guy. He's the one who's gone rogue, and he like kind of lays into Melissa McCarthy. And it turns out that like there's this character early on, Karen something, who she's really overly nice. Like, they're like, she's a fucking bitch or whatever. We hate her.
So she's a sheep, Merryweather from Zootopia, where she seems like the nice one, and then she betrays them.
Yeah, it turns out she's the one who's betrayed them. Yeah. And you're like, oh, yeah. So that's a pretty good twist. We're like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. And you think he's gone rogue, and it turns out, no, he hasn't. And there's another really funny character played by Rose Byrne, who's the bad guy, who Melissa McCarthy convinces her that she's a bodyguard hired by her dad, and Melissa McCarthy's just mean to her, and she's got this, like, I don't know if it's supposed to be a boyfriend, but there's this male character who comes in who's like part of her entourage that she just constantly lays into, like, where she's just mean to him for no reason and unprompted, and it's just she's the one who's like, I'm gonna do the accordion thing. She's the one who's and it's just super funny every time he's like, come on, Kevin, stop fucking up. It's like, dude, what Kevin do? Like, it's really funny. And yeah, she's also really funny. There's a bit at the end, where she sort of develops an affinity for Melissa McCarthy. When she's like, oh yeah, was she suspicious of me? She's like, no, she had no idea until you gave yourself away that you were doing a great job. And I just love the idea that she's just hyper competent. It's really fun. It's a really fun movie. Totally worth checking out.
All right.
That's Spy. Hey there, everybody. It's Endcard Justin here again to ask you the question: have you seen Spy? If you haven't seen Spy, what is your favorite Melissa McCarthy movie? Let me know down in the comments down below. Otherwise, you can click the video on the left, and that's going to take you to the full podcast where this video is from, where we talked about all kinds of spy stuff, including James Bond, Jason Bourne, and the like. You can click that one, or you can click the video on the right, and that's going to take you to a random video that YouTube thinks you're going to enjoy. Otherwise, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, leave us a like if you could, and we'll see you all in the next video. Have a good day, everybody.